It's late season, so I start moving cameras around trying to find bucks in the late season. That's one of the approaches we have. If we haven't harvested a good buck on our hunting properties, we try to go after some in late season. So we start moving cameras around trying to find some in a late bow in Arkansas, and find a giant for Arkansas, just an amazing buck. We immediately name him Freak Show. He's just got tons of stuff going on. He's really wide, lots of points. At one point we counted 15, 16 points on this deer, and so he becomes the focus. So we hone in on this deer, and I actually take my son in on youth hunt. It's a youth hunt in the beginning of January in Arkansas, and I take him in as his last year at youth season, and he wants to go after the buck we call Freak Show, which is just, like I said, just a giant for Arkansas. We get in there, and he's made his mind up that the only buck he wants is Freak Show, and he's running. Freak Show is running with about 4 other bucks, and there's some 3.5-year-olds in there, some really pretty nice deer, and he elects to pass, and hats off to him. That's a great deer. Don't get me wrong, Freak Show would be a deer of a lifetime, but he passes some really nice up-and-comers, and I gotta thank him. And later on, I asked him, I said, why didn't you want to take one of those bucks in there? And he told me, he said that he was going for the Freak Show and he wanted to get him, but the other main reason was he knew if he took a deer in there this late in the year, that chances of me taking Freak Show probably wasn't going to happen. I got a good feeling about where he's bedding, where he's staying, and I go in and I check my camera, and I pull the card and come back, and I've got daylight pics of this deer. It's evening. It's always evening when he's coming in, and for a month he has not daylighted. But it's right here in middle late January, and he's daylighting in the evening, and so I'm super excited. I decide that I am going to stay out no matter what until the conditions are perfect. I don't want to push it. Being that late in the season, if I don't get this deer, it's going to be okay, because I got a good feeling he's going to make it through at this point. So I elect to stay out of there until the wind turns right. We get a little cool snap. Actually, it's a really cold snap comes in, and I like to go in there after this buck.
Well, it's January 20th, 2018. I'm back in here after this buck we call Freak Show. He's just a really big, mature deer, really wide, 15, 16 points. I've had him on camera a lot. Finally got a couple of daytime pictures of him in the evening. And problem is, he likes to wait right before dark, so it's going to be iffy on camera light. And a good buddy of mine, Kevin Shipman, talked me into using his crossbow to give me a little more light, so at least I can make it up to legal shooting light, so we're going to hope for the best. Hope he comes out. We've stayed out here waiting for the right wind. We finally got it, so we're just going to hang out and see what happens. Hopefully that big silver shows up, and I can make the shot.
So I hear something behind me, and I immediately reach up and turn my camera on. I totally abandoned my camera on this. This buck comes out behind me. He swings around. I'm hunting with a crossbow, and it's a very large crossbow that I'd borrowed, and I elect just to let the camera go. So I did not get this kill shot on camera at all. So I climb down, I head back home. I get the family. I told them that I felt like I made a good shot, and we round up my wife and both my kids and Jody, and we all head back to the spot. This buck we call Freak Show, we've been getting pictures of him. Right at last light, he come in behind me. I couldn't get the camera turned around or nothing. he finally came through and gave me a shot, and I took it. So we've got good blood here. Hopefully there's something at the end of the trail, I hope. There's no blood right here. Okay, we've got blood, pretty good blood to here. You can tell where he's jumped the fence, which is a little concerning that he's got enough power to jump the fence. But it's probably been 2 hours at least, so we've given him some time. We got good blood that we're on, so hopefully there's something at the end of the blood here. See, it's got some time on it. It's not me. It's got good blood there. It's getting better.
Baby dog.
Woo-hoo! There he is, boys and girls. This is the buck I've been after. Right?
Holy crap.
My goodness.
Woo!
Thank you, Lord. See what he's got. Holy crap. Yeah, let's check this out, guys. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't count that one. 11, 12. I know that's one back here. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Almost 18.
Check that dude out, guys. That is awesome.
Wow.
What a buck.
Woo-hoo.
I am proud of that one.
You earned it.
Freaking
You
awesome
earned
right
it.
there. That's awesome. Thank you, Lord, is all I can say. I got the whole posse with me. All my kids, my wife, Jode's with me. Jody told it, he called it tonight. He said, you're gonna go in there this evening, and he's gonna come out on you.
Not all by himself.
Hey, Lynette. Okay, here's the story. Deer comes in behind me. I'm filming in front of me. Really tight spot. I hear walking behind me, and I spin around and look. And when I spin around, he bust me, or something wasn't right. He could just tell, and he froze. And he had this tree in front of his face. All I could see was antlers out both sides. So at that point, I began to hyperventilate, and I realized I knew what deer it was. So we had this standoff, him standing there behind the tree after I'd spun around, and he starts out this way. Well, my harness is completely wrapped around me, and I can't follow him. I can't even turn at all. So I have to watch him walk. And he gets between me and the tree, and I lean back, I take the camera, and I try to get it underneath my harness. It takes me forever. I finally get it under my harness, out of the way, and then the deer is still between me and the tree. And finally, he starts coming down. I had a crossbow because thank you, Kevin Shipman, for the use of the crossbow. He came down through, and I was able to lean out and crouch down, and was able to put one in there.
Are you writing with a purple pen?
Yes.
It's not purple ink though.
Oh, it's not? Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's black. That's one of my pens I got.
Crossbow. You know, I wasn't even going to show this footage. I wasn't even going to put this hunt together, but it's kind of a cool story because not very often do you get a picture of a buck that's, you know, a really, really special deer, and then you're able to kill it. Hindsight, I wish I would have filmed this. I wish I could have, you know, made this happen. But with the circumstances the way they were, I just felt like I couldn't pull it off, and at risk, you know, running this deer off. And you know, the fact of the matter is you're going to get one shot. You know, late in the season like that, in close quarters and bow range. So I elected not to film and to take the shot.